What exists in truth is the self alone. The world, the individual soul, and God are appearances in it. Ramana Maharishi. If we compiled a list of every explanation for the universe that anyone has ever concocted, including but not limited to God's plan, Big Bang, evolution of the soul, and great place to catch a roller derby, we'd find that they all collapse under the weight of their own absurdity. Any explanation that assumes the universe actually exists is bound to be goofy. The amusement of Brahman explanation may feel a bit anticlimactic, because we expect some grand revelation of divine meaning, but no such revelation is possible, because no such meaning is possible. The dream state universe is meaningless, and serves only to amuse the sole beholder personified, you. One belief-based objection to dream state-ism is that reality is too complex and huge and just plain real not to be real. But this objection is actually a supporting argument inverted. Think of it like a movie. Would it make more sense to actually build working spacecraft, weapons, and Death Stars, to hire and outfit a 1 million clone army, to conduct battle scenes in space, and to blow it all up? Or just to fake it all in a computer? Through the use of CGI, those ships and characters and battle scenes have no actual existence, as we think of actual. They're just an electronic sequence of ones and zeros arranged by intelligence and desire, and that's what the universe itself actually is, an arrangement of intelligence and desire with no actual actuality. Reality isn't particle-based. It's intelligence-based. The objection that the universe is just too big and complex not to be real actually credits to the dream state side of the ledger.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
It's the physical universe as we think of it that seems unnecessary and unlikely, since we have Maya, goddess of CGI, to do the impossible and create something from nothing. Creatio ex nihilo. Or you could say that everything exists only as it appears to exist. But that's very different from saying whatever appears to exist actually exists. Remove the unknowable and unprovable, and only consciousness remains. Just saying it's all consciousness doesn't really answer the real question, right? So it's all just the dream state. Okay, fine. There's no actual universe or anything. But why? What's the point of it all? Okay. You said your homework project was boring, and you wanted to make it interesting. Okay. So that's the point of it all. That's the answer to your question. The key to the story of Adam and Eve is that God was bored with his project and wanted to make it interesting. That's the point of everything. Interesting, entertaining, amusing, of course. What else? To be entertaining for who? Us? For consciousness, Brahman. Awareness and appearance are the black and white of the yin-yang symbol, which represents the dream state. But it can't just sit there. It has to do something. It has to be set in motion. It has to turn. Appearance can't just exist. It has to be dynamic, spellbinding, enchanting. It must beguile and delight. Brahman must be captivated and transported into Atman. Well, we're telling a cartoonish version to put it within our conceptual grasp, but yes, awareness requires appearance, and appearances can't be boring. In Genesis 1, God creates the heavens and the earth, the universe, right? But obviously, it's still not very interesting. In Genesis 2 and 3, he makes it interesting. Is it, though? Obvious, I mean. I'm not sure it really sounds that obvious. It actually sounds kind of, dumb. The only number I see is 1, and a wisp of vapor shaped like a 2. I have gone through the process of cleaning up the universal equation. I have spent years beholding the truth of 1 and contemplating the appearance of 2. I can show my bottom line and how I got there. I can, with a long list of qualifiers and disclaimers, enlist the support of ancient Eastern teachings and a few Western thinkers, too.
We need to abandon the policy which I would call, "Kindly let me help you or you'll drown," said the monkey, putting the fish safely up a tree. In other words, a lot of people don't want the benefits of our kind of civilization.
If we continue as we're going now, where do you foresee the United States ending up?
Nowhere. There won't be a United States in the year 2000 if we continue the way we're going. It'll be a barren, eroded country, a desert.
Is there some kind of practical, concerted action that can be taken?
Yes, concerted action is less action. Quiet down. Stop this perpetual agitation to go somewhere. Get the future, see? The future is nothing but an abstraction. There is no future.
I can write books about spiritual distillation and the algebraic reduction of personal reality. In the end, however, I can lead people to truth, but I can't make them see. Until we see for ourselves what lies just outside the walls of this magic box, no explanation can ever be more than words. In short, what's obvious to eyes open me is not visible to eyes closed Maggie. And frankly, saying that the apparent universe is just the home entertainment system of infinite consciousness sounds dumb to me too, but the inescapable fact is that meaning is not possible, so any explanation is going to sound dumb. This whole infinite time-space energy-matter universe thing is really just an immersive boob tube. And if you could ask Brahman why he's glued to it, like a fat little couch potato, his answer would be the same as yours or mine. I don't want to be bored. In short, the one and only reason for the dream state is the amusement of awareness. Whether or not you find this explanation satisfying, it is complete and correct, and no other explanation is possible. If you want to explain things any other way, you have to enlist belief to do so, meaning that you have to venture back into the dream state and construct your argument from the building blocks of make-believe. Happily, there's no reason to collect imaginary puzzle pieces because the ones we have form a clear and complete picture. Now, take a fresh look at the world from this Brahmanic perspective and marvel at what a magnificent boob tube it really is. Look around in space and time. Try to appreciate the fantastic diversity of the far-flung dream state, not just your tiny corner of it. I may seem to disparage reality because it's not real, but no one can deny that the dream state theater is the greatest creation of all. Assuming 100 billion people living an average of 50 years, that's 44 quadrillion hours of fantastically diverse entertainment value in the Earth venue alone, and billions more for every one you experience. Not all edge-of-your-seat stuff, of course, but due to the Brahmanic, self-limiting feature of Atman, every minute of your life is as fresh and new to Brahman as it is to you, which eliminates the problem of reruns. Actually, we can go further. We can say with certainty that without appearance, there can be no awareness. Conversely, there is awareness, so there must be something to be aware of, even though it has no existence beyond appearance, i.e., a dream. I can say that awareness is true and appearance is untrue, which is true, but I can also personally lay claim to I am/consciousness, which means, technically, that I am qualified to say that appearance does appear to exist. Not that it does exist, as does the dreamer, nor that it does not exist, as doesn't the dreamt, but that it appears to exist, like the dream. I can't confirm the content of appearance, but I can confirm the appearance itself. Not what I dream of, but that I dream. Descartes' evil demon can deceive me about everything except the fact that I exist, of which I am certain because I am aware. That's the difference between everything I believe and the one thing I know. But if the appearances which provide the basis of my self-awareness are illusory, can I still claim them as proof of my existence? Yes. Regardless of what I am aware of, I am aware. And as Descartes rightly stated, the demon can't deceive me about that. Brahman is perceiver. Atman is the process of perception, and Maya is the perceived. Perceiver, perception, and perceived are not three, but one. Consciousness. Consciousness, being one without other, can only be conscious of itself, like a mirror reflecting itself in a void, creating from nothing the appearance of everything. Creatio ex nihilo. Are you having fun with all this dream state stuff? I hope so, since that's really all it's good for. We're just making mud pies and smashing sand castles, so we might as well enjoy it. We can never really reconcile appearances any more than we can reconcile dreams, or memories, or feelings. In the end, we're left to accept the fact that the dream state is what it is, even though it's not. If you went up to one of your scientist buddies and told him the moon landings were a hoax, he'd laugh at you. But based on what? Did he sit down for several months and make a complete review of the facts? Did he study all the evidence on both sides? Did he subject himself to a rigorous emotional purification to render himself qualified to judge? Did he conduct a methodical inquiry that would stand up to global peer review? No. Has he ever even given the matter a moment's thought? Of course not. He's just married to the narrative like the rest of the herd, and to him, you're just a conspiracy nut job. Sure, he'll sneer at your stupidity, not because he's the rational Spock to your goofball McCoy, as he'd like to believe, but because he's an eye-shut child wrapped in the dogmatic security blanket of a herd from which you are a defector in training. Your scientist pal is not open-minded, questioning, welcoming of new information, or operating from any sense of curiosity or wonder. He's just another cow. This is why I like to stress the understanding of developmental age over physical age. Once you determine a person's real age, they will appear to you as simple and transparent as an actual child. This applies to pretty much everyone. So unless someone is exuding some weird detachment, you can safely assume they're stuck at a prepubescent stage of development. It looks a little funky when you start seeing people's true age accurately. But this internal growth regulator is not the imperfection it might seem. Adults simply aren't amusing, so the only way to keep the dream state fun is to keep it young. Now, try to see your entrenched science friend as an aspect of yourself. See how you react to things reflexively that might deserve a closer look. Not that you should look into those things, but that you should look into that reflexive reaction. If you want to make a journey, you have to get up and move, and you do it by opening your eyes and looking. Looking and seeing are what it all comes down to, not level of understanding or state of consciousness or depth of compassion. If you just want to be content, whatever. But if you want to wake up, you have to open your eyes. I, who probably shouldn't be allowed to cross busy streets unattended, have rendered unto dust the three great empires of thought, science, religion, and philosophy, with no more effort than it takes to melt a snowflake. That's not a reflection on my awesomeness, nor lack thereof, but on how appallingly naked our idiot emperors truly are. Here, in our dream state wonderland, the rabbit hole is reality, and solid footing is the illusion. I am/consciousness is knowledge, and everything else is belief. We mistake describing for understanding, but nothing that's not completely understood is understood at all, and nothing can be completely understood because nothing, including knowledge, is real. Ask your scientist friend what matter is made of, or what time is, or life, or space, or anything, and watch him start to dance. Who's the conspiracy wacko now? The secret of the dream state is not to look, but you can if you want to. You just have to open your eyes.